Welcome back to Ranking Roulette with Katie and Marissa.
An Eagle Eye News production.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ranking Roulette. Today, we are kicking off the holiday season with our first ever holiday-themed tier list ranking. Today, we'll be tier ranking a number of classic Christmas and holiday-themed movies.
Woo!
And I feel like everyone has seen at least like 80% of this list. If you haven't, you're watching the wrong Christmas movies.
Literally.
No, this does not include Hallmark movies. I personally...
They don't count.
Yeah, personally, I don't like them.
They're all the same.
Yeah, they're bad. We'll start that argument later. But we will be tier ranking the following movies: How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Elf, Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way, A Christmas Story, A Christmas Carol, The Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, A Charlie Brown Christmas, The Polar Express, Frosty the Snowman, and Christmas Vacation.
Okay, just to start off the bat, we did realize that our list had some outliers that, both of us haven't seen. Mm-hmm. So I've never seen Die Hard, and I've never seen Jingle All the Way.
I can't believe you've never seen them, though. They're so good.
That could change this Christmas. We'll see. Maybe I just have to now.
Yes, you do.
And Katie's never seen Christmas Vacation.
I haven't. I've seen... I don't think I've ever seen it, actually. I hear good things, though.
It's really good.
But I've seen the Santa Claus movies, and I feel like... To me, I haven't seen them in so long that I vaguely remember them. But when we tier rank them, I think we're going to just tier rank the trilogy as a whole. Just because,
they're the same thing.
Yeah, it's just the same thing, just in 3 separate hour-long videos, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I've seen all of them. I recently saw Home Alone 2.
For the first time?
Yeah, Home Alone 2 for the first time. I don't think it holds up to the original, though.
No, it doesn't.
But that's why this is going to be a fun tier ranking episode, because I think we're going to have a lot of comments on all of these movies. Mm-hmm. So, Marissa, do you want to start us off?
Okay, so, where do I even start? I feel like, okay, in my household, so I know in school, Elf is very overplayed, and a lot of people make the argument that Elf is, very overplayed, which I can agree with, but I don't think that necessarily makes it a bad movie.
Yeah.
So, and Elf is, me and my mom's, go-to, so I'm gonna, immediately put it at, I guess 2.
Okay. It's good. I think it's a good one. I think Elf is one of those movies where it's, you have to see it every year.
Yeah.
And I have a bit of has a soft spot for me. From something I did with my dance studio. We did a number from the Broadway show Elf, and I was cast as Buddy the Elf. So the show and the movie will forever hold a special place in my heart, especially after playing the character in that routine. But I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking to myself, there are some movies I know are going to be in my top 5. And I think Elf is going to be top number 5. It's a classic. I see it every year. It's one of the most well-known Christmas movies. It's one of the funniest Christmas movies. If you don't think Elf is funny, then
Exactly.
Just
don't.
Don't even. Exactly. Elf it's a good movie. It's funny. The character is funny. And whenever I'm, out shopping for Christmas stuff, there's always so much stuff dedicated to this movie. So much merchandise and apparel that it kind of just makes sense it needs to be in the top 5.
Exactly.
So,
it's made an impact.
Yes, it really has. What about A Charlie Brown Christmas?
I was looking at that one too. I feel like they're just very iconic. So definitely middled up.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to put that number 4. It's another movie I see every year. It's a tradition, actually, in my family to watch it. Every year around mid-December, we watch it all together as a family. It's a really fun time. So I'm going to put that number 4 just because I also have, I guess, there's a tradition tied to it for me, so it's still very important and significant in my life.
Yeah.
And it's a classic. It's something I grew up watching.
No, yeah.
And, who doesn't love a good old Charlie Brown moment?
Literally. I'm going to put it, what's it called? 6 for now. Because I feel like that's, like, a good, like, upper placement for it. I don't think it's, obviously, I don't think it's the best Christmas cinema out there, but it's a classic, and it's so cute. And it's just, like, everyone knows Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah. All right. What do we want to do next?
I feel like Home Alone is also up there for me. I feel like Home Alone's number 3.
I have to agree with that. Like, the original one.
Yeah.
I
just watched it this weekend. I'm already in the Christmas mood.
I've been in the Christmas mood for a while. Since, like, November 1st. Anyway, that's when I started my Christmas playlist. And it's been harassing everyone. And everyone's getting mad at me. Or was getting mad at me.
Well, too bad. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Everyone's like, well, I'm a Christmas after Thanksgiving. And I look at them and I'm like, but how? Like, Thanksgiving, yeah, I enjoy being with my family, but, like, it's still cold out. It's still giving winter. It's giving holiday season.
Okay, so I know a lot of people are very much, like, hateful towards the Polar Express because of the way the animation is.
Yes.
But I have to say, that's, like, I mean, it's not, like, as old as some of the other movies on here, but, like, the Polar Express, that's another one you have to watch every year. Yeah.
Personally, I don't watch it every year. That's just, my personal preference. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it...
I love the Polar Express.
No, I'm not saying this, like, to be like, oh, my God, it's such a bad movie. But to me, nothing about it stood out. I think the animation freaks me out as a kid, and that might be why. But...
And then they have, like, Josh Groban sing the song in the credits, and he's just, like, he has the most magical voice ever.
So I think I'm going to put that number 11.
And, like, Tom Hanks plays, like, every character.
That is so true. He does play every character. I've seen a bunch of the behind-the-scenes footage. It's so entertaining to watch. But, yeah, I think I'm going to put Polar Express number 11.
I put it number 4.
Honestly, like, if you like that movie, good for you. Can't relate, but good for you. Let's get slightly controversial here. A lot of people hate on How the Grinch Stole Christmas, specifically the original one. All of my friends that I've talked to about this, because I personally enjoy the original one, like the half-hour animation from, like, the 60s. Everyone hates on it, and they're like, no, it's not good. The one with Jim Carrey is better.
I see them both. I know they're the exact same story. I haven't seen the one that was made by, like, Illumination or whatever a couple years ago. That just,
I haven't seen that one either.
That doesn't exist in
it
my
doesn't.
mind. But I know they're the exact same story, but they're different movies to me.
Yeah.
So, like, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like, the OG, is, like, it's kind of the same to me as, like, Charlie Brown. It's, like, animated, it's short, it's, like, a cute little thing. But How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that's, like the live action one is more, like, invested and more is like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like that one Harry Styles thing. My favorite part about the movie is that it feels like a movie.
Yes.
That's how I feel about the live action one. So if we're, like, I don't know. I feel like either will probably be towards the middle for me.
Same here. I'm very much I love the original. It's what I grew up watching because that's what my parents grew up watching. So when the new one came out, I didn't see it, like, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the theater and watch this. But I have respect for the movie, and I think that the way that they, like, all the CGI and the production value behind it, I think is really cool. And I think that I was pretty fascinated with how they did that and how they built the sets and everything. It was very intricate. So I think if we're going to combine the two with the live action and the animation, I'm going to put both of them at number 7. I feel like it's halfway.
I was going to put it at 8.
It's not like it's bad, but it's not like it's good. I mean, I watch the movies every year. I think they're still good. But I don't know. I think if we're comparing the two of them together, I have to say that they're just midway. It's like I'll watch it every year, but it's not, like, my first choice, if that makes sense. Like, I'd much rather watch, like, Home Alone or the Charlie Brown or Elf.
Exactly.
That's what I would gravitate towards first.
Me too. The Grinch is just, like, if it's on, like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you want to do next?
I don't know.
What about Home Alone 2?
Okay.
So I just watched this one this past weekend, And
I think the first time I saw it was like 2 years ago or something.
And don't get me wrong, it was well done. It was a great way to continue on the story. Haha, very funny. It's a new travel tradition where they keep losing this, Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. But I don't know. I just don't think it lives up to the original.
I mean, I can agree, but I don't think it's a bad sequel. I think because there's like a Home Alone 3 that exists and like a 4 and a 5 and they're all different and they're all like gross.
Yeah.
But Home Alone 2 I feel like it is acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's not just because it's like, oh yeah, it has Kevin and all the originals in it. It's like the story's like actually kind of...
It continued on and I think they did a really good job with the sequel. So I'm going to put it at number 6. I'm going to put it under Elf, but on top of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Because I think it's still good and it still... like lives up to like the legacy of the first one, but at the same time, it's one of those scenarios where you can't top the original.
Yeah, exactly.
It just won't have the same impact. But it was still really funny.
I'm putting it below Grinch at number 9, just because like I feel like I would rather watch like all the other Christmas movies before I got to the sequel of Home Alone.
Makes sense. All right, which one do you want to do next?
Let's see. I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Ooh.
Let's see. Where do I want to put this? I feel like I'm going to put this at number 7.
Okay.
Okay, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's a classic, like, little dentist dude. What's his face?
I don't even know what his...
Dentist. I searched dentist and near me showed up. Dentist Rudolph.
Rudolph is such a weird name to spell.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an odd name. And same with the word reindeer. It's weird spelling.
Oh, I love when my Chromebook doesn't work. Here, I'm finding this out.
I'm going to put Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at number 10. I think it's better than Polar Express. I like the animation style much better in Rudolph. And I think that it's just a classic story that, it's an old classic. It's something that, like... Again, a lot of these movies are like movies that our parents have passed down to us and we watch now. And I think that it's cool because I think it was like stop motion, like clay animation or something.
Yeah.
And that's not easy. So major props to like the animators and everything. But it's a classic story and why wouldn't you watch it? Like
exactly. I feel like that one, it just like feels a certain like happy way. I don't know how to describe it, but... So I found out his name is Hermie.
Hermie
the Mitzvah Elf is how he's listed on Google.
Interesting.
And I mean I love the line where the head elf goes, "Why weren't you at elf practice?" Too good.
Oh yeah.
And then like Rudolph, he's just a little Rudolph, and then like all the other, reindeer are there, and they're all making fun of him and won't let him play his reindeer games.
I know.
So sad. But yeah, I put it at number 7 just because I feel like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like it's just like a happy certain way.
Yeah, it gives you that like happy, like warm, comforting feeling. So I would have to agree with that one. I think that it's better than Polar Express though. But that's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I just disagree.
That is A-okay. Let's stick with some of the classic movies. What about Frosty the Snowman?
Okay.
Marisa's got opinions.
Frosty the Snowman is definitely more towards the bottom. Not because it's bad, I just feel like it doesn't stick out like so many Christmas movies.
Got you.
It's just like, it's more of just like if it's on TV, you're going to watch it. No one really goes out of their way.
That is true.
To watch Frosty the Snowman, so I'm just going to put it at number 11.
I'm putting it at number 12. I think, it's a classic in the sense that you'll watch it if it's on
exactly.
TV, but if it's not, you're completely right. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch
exactly.
Frosty the Snowman.
Like, I know, like, I get it. Like, he has a magic hat, like, whatever. Like, yeah, that's all I really have to say about Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. All right. Christmas Vacation.
Okay, this for me is number 1.
Okay.
Just because I feel like it's just so good. It's just, I feel like it's just the kind of movie where just, like, funny things are, like, constantly happening. Mm-hmm. And, like, for Home Alone, there's, like, the funny moments, and then there's, like, the real, like, like family, like
we love
like,
each other.
Yeah, exactly. There's like the lesson learning part, and then there's like
the morals and values.
But Christmas Vacation, I feel like it just like constantly, it just has the funniest jokes. Like you could be quoting it for days.
Yeah. Is Christmas Vacation the movie where there's that one guy that's like on the house and he's like setting up the lights and then they're trying to light it and then it like bursts into flames or something?
Well,
or like the lights don't work?
Yeah, they don't work.
Okay.
And then it just like, and then all the power goes out in the neighborhood because he's looking at like the lights.
Because I think I've seen like maybe that scene of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really recall seeing it at least fully through as completion. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to put trust in you. I'm going to watch the movie when I get home now with what you've started. So I'm going to put it at I think I'm going to put it at, I'm going to put it at 9. Above Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I feel like it sounds like a cult classic to me.
It is.
The scene that I do believe I've seen, I remember it being really funny and really entertaining. So I'm going to throw it up there. I probably, after I watch this movie, maybe I'll actually have a better idea of where it would actually fall on my list. But it is what it is. So my list may be changing, over the course of the next few hours, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, I want to tackle the Santa Clauses.
Okay.
Personally, I do. Okay, so ranking just like the 3 of them, it goes 1, 3, 2 for me. Just putting that out there. Mm-hmm. And the Santa Clauses, I would watch because the reason I first started watching them, not because it was like one of those movies that like my family watched, it was because they were always on Disney Channel around this time. So that's why I like watched them, because for like the rest of these movies, like obviously they were on every movie channel, like my parents would put them on and stuff, but the Santa Clauses I always watched because Disney Channel played them, so that's why I like them. So
I remember that.
I think I'm gonna put it at 9 and move Home Alone 2 down to 10.
I'm putting the Santa Claus 1 through 3 at number 8. Again, I don't exactly recall these movies. I do remember watching them and really enjoying them. And I do, like, when I think of the movies, I remember a handful of scenes, a lot more than, like, Christmas Vacation for me. But I do remember watching them every year and, like, baking cookies while it was on and just really enjoying them and just thinking that they were really funny. And, yeah, I mean, it's something I would watch with my mom and my dad usually. So I'm going to put it at number 8. I feel like it's a safe option. Just under halfway, but I think it's still a highly popular movie, so I think it makes sense where it falls, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A Christmas Carol.
So, the Christmas Carol, I know, because it's basically just the same story, they just redo it so many times.
With so many different actors.
Exactly. So, the Christmas Story, I know, this might be a funny...
Story or Carol?
A Christmas Carol,
okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
A Christmas Carol, the one I know, is the one that the Muppets did, which
yes! I remember that one.
So that's the only one I've seen. I've, like, read, like, whatever, like, children's version of the book there was for it, but that's, like, the movie version I've seen.
Yeah.
But I know there's a bunch of different versions.
So let's do it with the Muppets, because I've also seen that one.
Okay.
So, to my knowledge, I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. Nothing's wrong with, those classic characters. So I'm going to put it at number 13. I don't think it's the worst, but again, I feel like it's one that I would need convincing to watch again. Mm-hmm. I need everyone in the room to be on board to watch it with me.
I feel like 13 for A Christmas Carol.
It just isn't compared to the other ones. And I think that A Christmas Carol and A Christmas Story have been so overly done. Personally, I think that they're both very, like, good stories, and they're very, entertaining and interesting, and it's classic in the sense of, like, it's familiar, which a lot of people I know like. But at the same time, I think that they've just been done so many times with so many different groups of people and so many different groups of actors and characters that we just need to, like, stop. We need to stop and leave it at what it is.
We need to stop.
Yes.
But yeah, I can agree with you there.
Okay. All right. Jingle All the Way.
I've not seen this.
It is so good. It's basically, so to describe the movie, it is about a dad who he messes up a lot, takes a lot more time to focus on his job rather than his kids, and he had to get this toy for his son. He didn't get it in time, and it was sold out. It was like the hot toy of the year, and like, you know, he's running around trying to find it, trying to figure out who he can buy it off of, and eventually, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, there was a big parade, you know, Christmas parade, and he accidentally ended up being like this action figure, like the physical version of it on this parade float, because it was a character from a TV show. So he ends up in this suit in front of the crowd and ends up giving the special edition character figure, like action figure, to his son, which is really cool, and it's a really like full circle moment. It's like, you know, everything will work out in the end, and it's very funny because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's his movie, and it's really entertaining. You really need to watch it at some point.
I should
if you get the chance. But I don't know. I just think it's a very
I'm sure it belongs near the top, but I'm just gonna put it at the bottom just because I've never seen it.
No, that makes sense. I definitely would recommend it to anyone though, because it's it's one that like I will go out of my way to watch every year. It is my favorite, one of my favorites. It's going at number 2. I rank it very high, and I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And now we get down to our highly controversial last movie, Die Hard. All right. I am a big Die Hard stan. I think it is a great movie. It's a funny movie, and I classify it as a Christmas movie. Therefore, it is my number 1. I watch it every year around Christmas time. I know people who watch it every year on Christmas Eve. I know people who watch it the week of Christmas. I know people who watch it December 1st. And I am here to argue it is number 1.
Now, okay, so I've never seen it. So if people are arguing that it's not a Christmas movie, I'm just gonna have to go with that. No, keep in mind, I could see the movie and totally disagree with what I'm saying right now. So I'm just putting it at the bottom just because
it's like neutral territory for you.
Yeah, exactly. People say it's not a Christmas movie, and we're rating Christmas movies, so even that little bit of like bit of leeway, it puts it down there.
People typically argue about it because the movie does take place during a Christmas party, which is why I classify it as a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas time. It takes place literally at the setting of a Christmas party. Therefore, Christmas movie.
Christmas.
Yeah, and it's all about the holidays for the most part. You know, minus all the like crime and like people trying to like rob people and everything.
You know, like burglaries.
You know, typical like hostage situations. But overall, I think it is a very well done movie. It's a classic. You know, most people have seen it, other than you. But I will classify it as my number 1.
Here is Marisa Laviano's official holiday movie tier list. At number 14, Die Hard. 13, Jingle All the Way. 12, Christmas Carol. 11, A Christmas Story. 10, Frosty the Snowman. 9, Home Alone 2. 8, Santa Claus 1 through 3. 7, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. 6, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. 5, Charlie Brown Christmas. 4, The Polar Express. 3, Home Alone. 2, Elf. And 1, Christmas Vacation.
That's quite a list.
Woo!
Here is Katie Servas' official holiday movie final tier list. At number 14, A Christmas Story. Number 13, A Christmas Carol. Number 12, Frosty the Snowman. Number 11, The Polar Express. Number 10, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Number 9, Christmas Vacation, I think. As in, I'm hoping that's where I would throw it.
I think.
Number 8, The Santa Claus 1 through 3. Number 7, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Number 6, Home Alone 2. Number 5, Elf. Number 4, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Number 3, Home Alone. Number 2, Jingle All the Way. And number 1, Die Hard.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I think it's really hilarious that your number 1 is my last.
my top 2 are your bottom 2.
Literally.
But yeah, overall, I would say we have some similarities.
It was a controversial episode.
Yes. We have a lot of similarities, though. Like, our Santa Clauses are at the same spot. Our Home Alones are at the same spot. We both have...
Elf in top 5.
We both have Elf in the top 5. We both have... Christmas Story and Christmas Carol towards the bottom.
Down there.
Yeah. And then everything else is a bit mixed up. But overall, yeah, very similar lists. While also being very different at the same time.
I think this was a good episode.
I agree.
I'm excited for Christmas. I know it's
Me
only
too.
December 6th, but
it'll be exciting.
it'll be here as soon as we know it.
Hopefully this episode will be up sooner rather than later. Let's hope I can
Before
finish
Christmas.
Oh, no, it'll be up before then. So hopefully you guys are seeing this sometime later this week. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed.
I'd love to hear if anyone has to argue with me about Die Hard. I am willing to start an argument. So, yeah. So thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.